Lupumlo is going to show. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are well. Welcome to our first episode of Entrepreneur Talks for 2022. So for the previous year, for 2021, we had a couple of episodes or installments that we were having engagements with entrepreneurs and leaders in the Eastern Cape, and a couple of we had one foundation from Cape Town, and we have had these conversations about the journey of an entrepreneur and leadership. So this year we're saying Entrepreneurs Talks. So today we have Mr. Ncedisa Goniwe, who is the founder and CEO of NG, a shoe brand, who is going to just give a little taste of how it has been in his entrepreneurial journey, and how he has build his shoe brand up till now. So Mr. Ncedisa, can you please just introduce yourself, maybe just a brief introduction about yourself? Who are you? Yes, and who is the ONG shoe brand?
Thanks, Anna. Yeah, my name is Ncedisa Goniwe. I'm the everything of NG Goniwe. Yeah, for now, I like the title, the CEO, but the reality is that I'm doing everything for now. Yeah. So a bit of a background. The business is named after my name, which is Ncedisa Goniwe. That's actually the brand. The brand is actually called NG. How it started, it's a long journey. I think for me, it has been a long journey that I'm being prepared to become an entrepreneur. But I didn't know for a long time that I'm being prepared to become an entrepreneur. It started from high school days where I was doing standard. I was doing, I think, 1995, I was doing standard 6 at Mfundweni High. There was a chance there where you have to choose. Remember, at the time, there was this new thing called commerce, where you will study accounting, business management, science. So fortunately for me, my brother was a 1 year ahead for me. He was doing commerce. So he was always telling me about this nice and exciting subject, accounting and debit and credit. So I became interested in that. So I think for me, this journey has been happening since 1995. Even my parents used to run businesses. And fortunately, even my career, I started my career, I think, around 2001, working in a manufacturing company that is making cars. But what I was doing there, I was not really involved in the production. I was more in the financial side. But I'm more interested. Come again?
I'm just
Yes. So there I was more like a clerk, doing invoices and all of that. But I had an interest in the actual production line. So during lunchtime, I would go there and see how does it go, what happens, and all of that. Not knowing why I'm curious about that information. But the work was not permanent. It was an internship It was just a one-year program. So after that, I became unemployed. I think for about a year, I moved around. I went to Cape Town. I tried so many things. I tried even football and others. But fortunately, I think around 2004, I was lucky to be employed in an NGO called ComSec at the time. It was dealing with entrepreneurship. So that journey kind of really prepared me to this entrepreneurship journey. But I think a year ago, I was told, or I had a dream about a book that I must write. And the book actually, interestingly, had a title. And the title of the book was saying, I'm not going to hide it. It was talking about the journey and the truth of Ncedisa Goniwe.
Okay.
And at the time, I asked myself, what truth, what journey? I don't have any interesting journey. Remember, at this time, I was busy doing my master's, and my topic was actually on entrepreneurship. It was evaluating the causes of the high failure rate of SMMEs. So to me at the time, that didn't make sense, you see. But somehow I started to write that book in my booklet. And during that process, I happened to meet this opportunity because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I didn't want to be an entrepreneur that is selling somebody's things. I wanted to create my own products. So fortunately, I was at the right place at the right time where there was a company that wanted to partner with us in terms of we must come up with a brand and also design. Actually, we must start with the design. Design a shoe, use my name, and test it in the market. So basically, that's my background. That's how this small baby it has started. We have started in July. I think the date was 6 July when we started. We're almost 5 months old now. But I think later on, maybe I will tell you more about what's happening at the moment. Yeah.
So, OMG, your baby is in a good place in terms of and you have a bit of academics and mixed of a bit of the experience there in entrepreneurship. So that means that ONG has a good standing point in terms of its growth, and it's quite impressive.
Yes, ma'am. You can say that. It's hence I said the journey unknowingly started very long time. But at the time I didn't know that I must be prepared for something. But coincidentally, all of that now is making sense.
Sense,
Because I
yes.
didn't go to university to start my own business.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I went to university because I wanted to better myself so that I can get a better job. But somehow now, it has came to this point where there is a baby now that needs to be nurtured, which is very
Yes,
exciting.
definitely. Definitely. Okay, so I because my follow-up question was actually going to be, the importance of the background knowledge of just I'd say basic of entrepreneurship in terms of knowledge, right? Because now you're coming from a space of academics, not maybe ugxile kakhulu on it, but just what is the importance of that? Just understanding and knowing mhlambi the business sides or side of things or the science behind uba entrepreneur mhlambi. This is just like a throw off question.
No, and thanks, man. Uh, as I've said, that entrepreneurship, sometimes to be an entrepreneur, you need a number of components or a number of factors come together. For example, entrepreneurship in other countries, if you look at other African countries, it starts from home. For us, even for us, some of us, the entrepreneurship started from home, but we couldn't combine it with education because no one, when we started university, could advise you to study entrepreneurship. Everyone was going to say, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be or because going to school it enhances it, you know. So I always say, sometimes this thing is about knowledge, and knowledge is not something that you only get at school. Especially now, we have phones now. You can Google. You can even Google how to manufacture a product. You sit go and do it. You can even Google how to write a business plan. I'm just making an example, or how to
That's true, actually.
how to register a business. Because sometimes when it comes to entrepreneurship, because I don't want us to credit education a lot to say NG is there because of education. But education is one element.
Yes.
So hence I'm saying what is important in entrepreneurship is to do the practical research. Go out there, understand what you want to do, and learn from that. You know, mustn't do it. Take a note when you're going to do it, so that the notes that you take today, you compare to the notes that you take maybe 3 weeks, 3 weeks, coming 3 weeks, so that your knowledge takes you to it should take you to another level, basically. So what I'm trying to say, to become an entrepreneur, you need a combination of things. For example, you need a mentor. You need someone who are you going to look up at, and you follow that person. Sometimes that person doesn't necessarily have to be physically. You can study a person. You can follow a person on LinkedIn. You read his books. You do all of that. You know, so it's part of the transformation. Because if you admire someone, by default, you will learn from that person. So hence I'm saying entrepreneurship, we cannot credit it to training, to technical skills, to one element. So you need a combination of things in order to become an excellent entrepreneur. And I think I can mention two things if you want to be a great entrepreneur. One, you should be able to exploit
I hope people are
opportunities.
taking notes.
Yeah. So you should be able to be good in exploiting opportunities. Also, you should be able to discover relevant resources, because some of the things you're not going to do them yourself. For example, I'm not in the factory now, but shoes are being made in the factory. You get my point. But not what you need then, you need to get a good partner. Hence, I'm saying you need to discover a right supplier. So, as an entrepreneur, those are the things that you need to understand. And lastly, you need to understand your business model in terms of what it is that I'm selling. Yeah, because you might be selling a shoe.
Yes.
There's something behind. For example, we are selling a shoe, a leather shoe, but there's a lifestyle. We are selling a lifestyle. We're selling a style, not necessarily a shoe.
That's true. this is another thing. Thank you very much for that, Budiman, because something that I was going to go into, actually, it's about just the inspiration behind the shoe, actually, because I read that there's a heart in ONG, the brand, right? So whenever there's a heart in there, meaning that a story that people, can easily identify with, or something that, just sparks something to someone, people tend to vagalelwa a bit, or want to just lend a ear. So I know that you had said that you were in the hospital, right, in an accident, and that's where the inspiration of the shoe came from. And I love that, actually, because that means that you wanted to just overextend the need to walk. That's where I actually thought of, is that shoes, because sometimes you just think of shoes. So I just wanted to just have a bit of depth in terms of the understanding of the product choice, which is Slango and ONG, right? And then
Okay. No, I hear you, ma'am. Yeah. For me, I had an accident earlier on in my life, and that part of my life changed the person that I am today, because so many things that I've learned there. I'm sure you have read, even in papers, that I was in the bed for 5 months. And that 5 months that I was in hospital, I was unable even to move my body. My legs were being roped there for 5 months, you see. So I've learned so many things there in terms of being resilient. I think I went to theater 5 times. Theater case where your parents must sign every time you go, because you might not come back. And at some point in my life, my only dream, I only had a dream to walk, not to run, just to walk, even if it means I'm walking 5 meters, you see. So one of the things that to me was fascinating, when you see people, kids running around, and some of them, they want to play with you, but they can't. So for them to come and play with you, they must come closer to you. So that point of my life has taught me to appreciate. Even now, I appreciate people. I appreciate, because I know that it might not be there tomorrow. And I also understand that I've got a second chance in life. So hence, the NG is aligned to that, because a shoe is sentimental. It's something that is moving. It's moving towards a future, which I'm praying for, a greater future. Even now, the history that I am, it was a future before. Well, the story is something that happened long time ago, but it is something that is inspiring me and the brand, so that now I'm no longer dreaming. Now it's happening. Now I'm
living
working,
your dream.
and I've been working with my brand. I'm working now with something that not belong to me only, because NG doesn't belong to me only. It belongs to Goniwe brand. I'm saying that I was at home in December. I'm saying that to a family meeting, even to my father. This is not for me. This is for everyone here. And also, when you are in hospital, or you are not able, you are a disabled child, your other assembly are suffering. You see, I'm not saying that you will think that at home, I am a favorite child, because of they never thought that I would go this far. You see, so sometimes you want to apologize and say this attention that I'm getting is because they thought that I'm not able. You see, so even the brand I didn't do this thing so that I became a millionaire, but I wanted something because I'm fortunate to come out of that situation, because I can't give all the details about the accident, because accident is something that personal.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
truly
can
understand.
tell you there's a big story, there is a lot of experience around that. But I don't want to focus on that. Now I want to
Yeah, yeah,
focus
yeah.
on aligning that experience,
Mm,
because I don't want to cry, I want to
mm,
smile all
mm,
the time.
mm,
Yeah, because
definitely.
now, just to tell you a story, I had a client, I think is in Bumalanga. He had an accident. He said to me, he wants to walk with that shoe. He's recovering now. You see, not to say I like a story behind, because the way he appreciates the product is kind of sentimental to him. I don't even think he knows that the owner himself
Mm,
was
mm,
in an
mm.
accident. Just giving me the story.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And it's I think the reason why that I had said initially that, people sometimes relate a lot to a story. Yeah, and when a brand literally when we identify some sort of thing with the brand, that means that the brand is doing something good. Basically, that's what it means. So um
Correct.
okay, so I've seen a comment. I'm not sure it's a comment if it or it's a question. I'm hoping that I'm going to be pronouncing this name right. Nguni M. Zamo. Uti so true. I studied business management, but I am a teacher now. God wanted me to collect all these components in order to start my business. Mine is 4 months and it's doing pretty good. Okay, so I think Unzamo was referring to the education part of it, and an entrepreneur. So that is a comment from Ngunem Mzamo. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, yeah. I also appreciate, man, the
Yeah,
comment.
the
Some
comment. Yes.
just to add,
Okay, moving
yeah,
right along. So I've got something. Just I know this is Shambi, you're going to give us an insider of how you run things, but just three basic principles that you think anyone needs in running a business. Not even starting a business, but running. So starting is one thing. Now making sure that the business continues. So just three basic principles that it's either you personally apply, or you aspire to, sorry.
okay. Yeah, I think one will be quality. Never, ever try to compromise on the quality of your product or your service. Sometimes people, when you say quality of the product, they think tangible things. There are so many businesses in the service sector now, but what you see in some of the businesses, the quality it's not consistent. So quality, that's number one. Number two, that's efficiency in administration. One of the key failures of the business is to be able to record, uh, not just record, production records first, sales records, you know, and financial records. Because in business, for example, you're not going to make a profit in the first 3 years, but you should be able to tell me, if I come there, how much money have you made in the past 5 days? You see, so efficiency in the administration is one of the key drivers of this business. Even if yeah, but there is a system that is informing me about what is happening. And another key important one communication to your
Okay.
customers. When you communicate, sometimes in business, not everything goes according to plan, but your communication is your life. You must always communicate with your customers. Develop a system where the communication is clear. If not going to deliver today, tell the customer a day before, not a day that is expecting the product. Another one, try to exceed customer expectation.
True.
All the time. That should be systemized in your business, because once you fail, one wrong expectation, that person is going to tell others, especially in service business, where you go to a car wash, you go to a restaurant. The same as in product, but I'm saying try by all means to exceed customer expectation. And lastly,
Okay, so okay.
last one, make IT systems work for you. When I say IT systems, I'm including even social media. Now we are living in a modern time, and you don't have to be in America or in Sentin to communicate with a client that is in Sentin. You don't have to be in Sentin. I've delivered across the country. You know, we have sold about 140 stores now. You see, not in the Eastern Cape, across because of the assistance of we have exploited ICT, okanye information technology, okanye social media. So if you want to succeed in this modern entrepreneurship life going forward, that's one of the key principles. But make sure you do it professionally. It must work for you.
Yes. Definitely. Thank you very much for that. I hope people are making notes, because I was definitely making notes. Making notes. Yeah. Okay. So we do have another comment and a question for you, Mr. Goniwe. So uti asanda makatesi. I hope I'm saying that. I'm apologizing if I'm not pronouncing it properly. I love the shoe, and I am a huge fan of the brand. I just wanted to ask Mr. Goniwe how he would advise someone that would like to become an entrepreneur, but is fearful of the journey.
Okay, thanks. The journey of the entrepreneurship is a scary one, I must tell you. And it's not an easy one, even when you're there. But what I would advise any person or Asanda is that he needs to do a proper research. And because for me, good ideas comes from solving a particular problem. So you need to identify a problem within the community or within the targeted market. Because you don't want to do a research that is whole scattered. You need to focus that community that you want to sell to. So now, if you have a product or a service, you want to start a daycare, I'm just saying, or you want to start a night care, you have identified that young women of that area wants to go out during night, but they don't have one to take care of the kids. You start from there. You see, there is a need. And the question is, are these people willing to pay for this service? You see, because sometimes you realize people, they want something, but the economy doesn't allow them, their economy. to pay for that particular service. So you need to know that numbers game. In order to be sustainable in your business, how many kids you must keep per month at what price? Because if the kid you're charging 200 rand per 8 hours, that 800 rand at least should be able to pay the cost. You should be able to pay the overheads and also pay yourself, because you must have a salary. Because remember, the business will start to make money after maybe 24 months or 32 months. Yeah. So what I'm saying now, the key thing here is that all of these things you should know before you start. But how much money is it needed? And then what volumes, how many keys do I need in order to break even, to pay for the electricity, pay salaries if you are employed? So now, and you need to be aware that when you start, you're not going to make money in the beginning, but your brand is going to increase. Sometimes the danger is that your brand is increasing, you're becoming popular, but you don't have money. And if you're not matured enough, even the popularity of the brand might carry you away from focusing in the actual business. So my advice would be to start speaking with a mentor, identify a mentor, identify agencies that assist people who want to start small business, literature around small business, especially a literature that is talking to the product that you want to sell. Yeah. I don't want to end up lecturing on entrepreneurship or on the process, because that's
I
my
hope
line.
Asanda uphendulekile ke kodwa. But thank you very much, Asanda, for interacting with us. Okay, so here's another one. I know that akukho ndawo ngekho bone kukho ii-myths zakhona. Apho kuthiwa bana yabona lena, this is like this, but it's not actually like this. So ndicela nje just a brief, not even a brief, just something that maybe you can think on top of your head. What are myths about being an entrepreneur that are either zinyani or aziyonyani?
Can you? I didn't get the question correctly. Can you repeat that?
Okay, so the question is basically, Bana, what are things that are myths about being an entrepreneur? So zindoni ezi that abantu bathanda ukoyikiswa ngazo about being an entrepreneur, that it's either one, zinyani, or two, aziyonyani. So you'd find that mhlawumbi with certain I can't think of a business myth at right now, but just izinto that people are being scared of or being shooed off about. Do I uqala business or uzimela nje, this is what's happening, that is what, but people that who have never experienced it.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that you work 24 hours. You work all the time when you run business. And number two, when you are a Black entrepreneur, there is a lot of skepticism. Not because of you, it's because of you. It's because of the history of the Black entrepreneurs. So you won't live outside of that, must tell you. But now you need to make yourself to prove that. Well, remember, Zandile, the failure rate of SMM is not necessarily in the country is so high. You're talking about 70%. of the SMEs. Now, when you start from the first day, you belong to somebody else, you belong to that 70%. So the shadow of other failures is going to live with you for the rest of your entrepreneurship journey. So now I'm saying, as an entrepreneur, I don't want to lie to you and say it's a nice when things are working. Yes. Yeah. You need to be sustainable. You need to be able to sustain the quality or the service or the efficiency, whatever it is. So that's one thing that you will live with when you're an entrepreneur, a black, I won't say young, when you're a black entrepreneur, you don't really have an opportunity of having a huge value chain. I'm saying value chain. We don't have a culture of working with a value chain where in your street somebody is supplying you with the rubber. In the same street, you are playing golf with someone, and that someone is supplying you with the leather. You see, so we don't have that kind of a luxury as SMMEs, but we do have platforms. It's just that it is not systemized because we have WhatsApp groups, we have all of those things, but it has not been systemized or culturalized that we talk about it. You hear people talking about supporting township economy, supporting each other. But I can tell you in practice, we're not even doing that 5%. You see. So I'm saying that's a challenge that we have. That's a challenge that we will have going forward. You see. Because as black entrepreneurs, we need to create a value chain where we will realistically buy from each other. In reality, if I'm looking for something, we buy it. But I can tell you, talk about it. But in terms of really doing it, we don't even have platforms where we will demonstrate to say, these are our industries. This one is doing that. So that we encourage each other to buy. There is an opportunity. That thing, we are not late when it comes to business or in life. Nothing is late. Yeah, but it's just that we need to start now to create a culture of creating knowledge first, creating products, creating customers, because a product must have someone to buy. Once you have more people to buy, the economy will improve because suppliers will stock more in terms of raw material and other things. So as I'm saying, I think for us, I won't say young people, all of us, black people, we have a huge challenge to practically practice entrepreneurship and buying from each other. And for no seventy term township economy, sifunde into yoba masithenge umuntu athenge ayebona i-orange eqonda uyalifuna angayolithenga andifuna ukubiza ke indawo ndithi bangayolithenga phi but makaqala ajonge uba eli likazandi i-orange injani anegotiate yaqona uba how much ke ungandithengisela ngamalini yabo. Yeah. So
you know what Luphumla just did.
I-subject endiyithanda kakhulu ndingathanda le subject ufuna ukundincande ke ngoku kuthiwe langa when it comes to being practical about yeah
Definitely, Ncedisa. And something very interesting just happened in the office right now, which we are going to be talking about right now. But
Okay.
before I talk about what just happened right now, I just wanted to know, but ONG mhlawumbe zeziphi i-collaborations that azibawelayo, athi mhlawumbe bawula collaborate no Nike, or okay, maybe let me not go big, mhlawumbe uDrip or uPatu or something like that. So zeziphi mhlawumbe when a collaboration as ONG would is aspires to be part of.
Yeah, I think I must say, first I must appreciate the collaborations that I have, which is my clients, the
Oh
140
man.
people for the show.
Mm.
Those are my greatest, because that is not a future, it's what is happening now. Because what we're doing, those people, there are people that have bought the second show, and there are people that are bringing more customers from that 140. So that 140 have relatives, have neighbors, have all of that. To me, those are my key partners at the moment. I have other partners that have approached me to say, help us, we want the product. We could agree on a number of things. As a result, I said, let's let this brand, maybe this brand is immune to work with someone at the moment, you see. But there are brands that I want to work with. And one of the brands that I really like their story. It's Makos Olatum. I really is local, you see, and it's so clear about his market, you know. Not to say I don't want to force collaboration, but those are companies that I'm at because they're from local, they're from here. You see.
Yeah.
Yes, the corporates, I want to work with the corporates, but my brand, NG, I don't want to see a lot of changes in this brand in
True.
terms of, because sometimes when you partner, you can be swallowed by those brands, you see. So I want this child I want to work with the big brands that are really willing to listen to our ideas. So that we mustn't say you are small, you can't,
Please.
you are small.
Please.
I mean, I had a client inquiry from USA in America inquiring about
Yes.
the shoe.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
if
Yes.
you
Yes.
slow
Yes.
to say to someone else, that someone else might come with a lot of barriers and principles and policies that we're not comfortable with. So I'm saying we are willing, we want to work with corporate, but they must listen to us as long as.
True.
So
Mamela
tell
Butwam.
I want them, but let's talk, let's have a conversation.
Khona i-collaboration ekhoyo apha yakho that endlini
Really?
nayabacakwam right now.
Easy, man.
Ndine-collaboration yakho apha
Wow.
endlenayo.
You must turn it around. We want to see
This
the brand. Yeah.
this is what
That's
just happened in this
one of
office.
my key collaborations. My 120 people.
This is your collaboration. I-collaboration yakho ikhulule isihlalo and wanted to show us, which we
Yeah,
are
and,
quite grateful.
yeah. I'm very
Yes.
grateful of. You see the veins in the leather. You see the veins there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
no,
Please. Yeah. Thank you, man. So, just for in closing, thank you very much for that, Butwam. Just in closing, ne, 2021, I'm sure you had the objectives is set aligned for ONG, and ONG met them, ONG went for them, and now for 2022, right? So I'm just want to know what is 2022 look like for ONG? So what can we look forward to? Because I know you have already 3 designs or 3 range. So what can 2022, what can we expect from you? Or not expect rather, but look forward to. Yes.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. I really appreciate this question. It's very important. We're currently busy with the new range. They coming.
Okay.
A sneaker is coming. Sneaker is coming. You will see. And we have another shoe that is coming. It's different from the shoes that you have. And we're busy. The designs have been approved. That's one number one. Now we are busy with the sample. And there are other commodities that we are busy with, which is the NG bag. The sling is coming. So now the footprint we have achieved, because what we wanted to test the product broadly. We wanted at least to have 1 or 2 clients in Pretoria, which we have, in Johannesburg, which we have, in Cape Town, in Pedi, and Sokhaya, upon Wakona, Ben deliverisha pa December says. Ben CM Kitini.
Dibonile, I saw.
Ben yeah, so make sure by client happy. So London, King Williamstown, I mustn't forget. Client Zamba,
Please.
Town, Alwal North, Ben, you see. So the footprint, if we had a scanner where NT shoes were lighting at night.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so South Africa would be lighting like Ingwengwezi. Actually, that's what we wanted, because we wanted to test one thing, the quality. The quality is unquestionable. And also we wanted to check the spread in terms of which areas have more demand than another, you see. So now we are starting to stock. We're stocking now on the basis of numbers. Remember, we're using the data. We collect data about how many, what is size 9, size 8, size. So now we are stocking on the basis of which numbers, which sizes are first. So the journey is exciting. We're learning every day. Yeah, it's not easy. I must tell you, it's not easy to run a business. And because even the support, remember this business, we started this business using own resources. I mean, own resources from everything. We haven't got any funding. Not like we are complaining, but we're saying it's not easy, because in other countries, when you start a business, the system will pick you up that there's someone there who's running a business. Let's support. So in South Africa, it's different. The person should knock and knock and knock and knock. So, but we've managed to start the business with the limited resources, using the model of making shoes for people that have ordered, so that you borrow from the money that you are going to pay somebody else. Maybe you're going to pay your school fees. You delay, you negotiate with suppliers. It's very bad, but it's what is happening. You have to pick up the phone call. Can I pay, instead of paying on the 25th? Can I pay in the 10th? And the supplier that listens to you take that money and use it to buy material, so that you can sell. Once you pay, you remember you owe yourself, you owe you owe from your expenses. You must go and pay on the end. You get my point. It's a story that doesn't sound real, but it is real. Because you can't. If I'm going to wait for 100,000, I can tell you today. Then sahlelpa salinde into NGA. Up until now, we're using the resources that are around, and we are trying to be innovative so that you don't pay for someone thing that you need in the next 2 months. You pay you need you see.
Yes.
Saying it's not an easy thing. It affects you personally. Yeah, but even sometimes at home you disconnect because you are focusing on your phone, focusing on classroom. People are asking things and all of that. Then you are taking that time. You are stealing that. There is no free time. It's either stealing from yourself or from somebody else.
Yeah. So this year city sneakers city when our bags it means people are actually, we have 2 comments that are saying that they're actually looking forward for a collection yakho entsha, and not we're actually looking forward to seeing a progress ka NG. Just the last question, where can they buy the shoes?
Yeah. Olunga, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, currently we're taking orders in our page, Ncedisa Goniwe page.
Yes.
You'll see there's my number, there's WhatsApp, there's emails. You can email me. I can send you the catalog. Currently, we don't have a shop. We this business is one of the innovative of this kind. It's business of this century. We're using the system, which is phones, WhatsApp, email. We're going there. We're digital. Yeah, it's a perfect word. We're going there now. That's the next step. We're going to have a shop. It's not a matter of we think we have decided that now this product has been accepted. Clients, not all clients want to make orders. That's what I've learned. Other clients, they want to buy immediately. You see? And sometimes I've realized another thing. People, they want to buy gift for each other, husband or wife, someone. So you don't want to wait for a gift. If you buy a gift, at least you want to receive it in 3 days. You see? So we need to stop to cater for those clients, because we realized in December this product was moving, because the reason why is because you don't buy a gift for someone. You know that someone liked that thing. You have talked about it. So that's what we have picked up, that most of our customers, they buy because the spouses or the partners had the conversation around the it's easy to buy a gift that you know if it will be appreciated. So I kind of like that, where this brand is used to gift someone, which means it is used in a very strong and powerful way, because you will attach to say somebody else give me a gift of NG. So there is a value chain there of appreciation. You see, so it's kind of giving me that satisfaction to say this product is well accepted. If people can actually gift each other, it gives me to say, hey, these guys are gifting each other now using our brand. So I really appreciate that, I must say.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Man Potwamo, for honoring the invite here too for today's session. And ube ngumuntu wokuqala that for the year 2022 that esibone siphuma ne opportunity kokubana sithethe nayo. May your your brand, your business, your journey, UNG grow in all aspirations zakho, zonke, all the plans that you have, may they prosper, may they blow up. And yes, so thank you very much for being with us today, and everyone who tuned in. Thank you very much. Next week we are going to be having another session where Mr. Mjodo, Ulunga Mjodo, and Ulupumlo will be having a business funding session. So please do be on the lookout for that. So thank you very much. Thank you, Putwam. Ndiyabulela kakhulu, siyabulela.
Hayi Nkosi, sisikubulela mna mani. Awurhadebe namahlobo nabo balapha
Ah, thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.